Hi everyone, my name is Victoria Kelly. I'm an educator for Keune Haircosmetics. I'm also an ambassador for Shears. And today we're going to be going over a more unique way of how to do a shag haircut. And it's also very reminiscent of my high school hair, which I totally had the scene shag. The first thing I'm going to do after I've shampooed the hair, I'm going to go in with my Keune Too Faced spray to help detangle it, and it works as a really great cutting lotion. Get that saturated. And then get it all nice and combed through. Now the first parting for this is going to be from the orbital bone into the bridge of the nose, and it's going to be a slight triangle section. So I'm going to section straight down, comb this out of the way, and then I'm going to pivot right here. It's going to kind of work with the arch of the eyebrow too, is another good place of reference to use. Shears I'm going to be using today are my 6 1/4 Super Swivel Monarch shears from Shark Fin Shears. With the first section, it's going to be a high elevation, flatten the hand at a 90-degree horizontal, and we're going to cut up. It's going to feel short, but this is going to be the fringe area. One way to check it to see where you want it to be is drop the hair down. You're like, okay, I want this to be 3 inches. Use your comb as measurement. And we're going to go in and cut. And this is going to be the start of your guide. And here's our guide. And snip away. So with me over directing the hair back to the first one, that's going to create a nice face frame fringe and layering. So when this drops, as you can see, it's already starting to create a shape around the face. I'm going to drop some of this hair out because we don't need to be holding all of that. And now I'm going to pivot off. Take this section, over direct it back to where one is. And everything's on a blunt, a 90-degree haircut. Make sure you can always see your guide through the hair. And if you can't, that means you should probably take a smaller section because we don't need to lose our guide in there. And pivot one more section. And it's going to be right at the top of the ear there. Pick that up, and then my mannequin's running away. Go back to section 1 here. Find your guide. And over direct this all over, and that's, with this picking up all of this, that's going to create our nice face frame for us. And a really cool fringe. Bang, fringe, bang, whatever you want to call it. And as you can see, once again, we have that nice face frame all the way through. We're going to go in with section 5 and 6. That's going to be on the other side. Section this out of the way. And now again, we're going to pivot off and bring everything back to number 1. The elevation is still going to be your 45 high, and it's going to be 90 degrees horizontal. So I can see my guide right through there. And cut. And then we're going to take the hair once again, split it right down to the top of the ear. Comb it all out. And we're going to take this last section right back up to our first section so we can pick up that guide here. And then when we comb that down, we have a nice fun looking fringe. It's going to be a nice U shape, and it's going to give us a lot of texture through there. And we already have some layering going on from taking it up at a 45 high elevation and cutting everything on a 90-degree horizontal. Alright, we got the front sectioned out from the back, and now since I have nails, you can use nails, the edge of your comb, whatever you choose. I'm going to make a really fun wavy section right at the occipital, and that's going to once again give us some really cool visual blending. And this is where we're at. Now I'm going to go ahead and clip this section at the occipital out of the way. So I'm just gonna twist and clip that, and we're good. Now I can drop this top layer back down, pull it back out. Sectioned off and brushed out of the way. What I'm going to do is take section 7 through 13 now, and it's going to still be a pivoted pie shape across the head, and we're going to bring it back to your section 1. So here's my section 7. Here's a piece from section 1 I'm going to pull right up, and that's going to be our guide. So now that we found our original guide from section 1, this is going to get pulled up. And if you have smaller hands like me, you can always take smaller sections. Just make sure, again, you can always see your guide. We're still pivoting across the head here. Pick up a piece of your guide from the last section. in. And we have our last section right here. So we have some guides from our previous section and our current section, and we blend right there. And then we're gonna go ahead and cut. And then once we drop this all down, you can see some of these shorter layers once I start shaking into the hair a little bit, and that nice blend. So now that we have this all finished, I'm gonna go ahead and take that clip out that was holding the occipital bone. At this point now, you can choose to go in and detail the hair, make sure the length is all even. Now I still want to keep it nice and textured. So I'm going to go in from the side here, and I'm going to use this as my guide to go around the hair. And what I'm going to do is take my shear and just kind of pinch it and cut it. So I'm still keeping it a nice shattered look on the ends. But we still have some connection within the disconnection. The detailing of this haircut is one of my favorite things to do, because you can really customize it to your guests that way. Because everybody's hair shape, head shape, texture is going to be different. We got a lot more movement in the back. It's a little bit more uniformed, but still disconnected and messy. Now at this point, when we get to the fringe and or bang area, I'm going to get a clean comb and then go in and kind of decide how I want this to look. Now we're going to kind of push this off to the side. So I'm going to go in right at the center here. And I'm going to use my 5.5 inch swivel right-handed Monarchs. And I like using a smaller shear around the fringe to do detail work, and it's not as scary as a big shear going right by your guest's face. I'm going to pinch it again, and I'm going to slide in. And now I can hold it and go in and point cut, and then slide into the rest of this, just so we have a little bit more movement around the face here. Same thing over here. I'm going to over direct my section 4, and I'm going to slide and just blend that in that way. Now the detailing for these type of haircuts are going to be really visual, and it's going to work a lot with the client's natural hair texture too. So I've added just a little bit more points, a little bit more movement right here. And then right around the face here, I want a heavier face frame, so I'm going to take a vertical section from right at the ears, and I'm going to over direct it on a 45 low. And start right at the lip here and slide into the hair, just so we get some more fringe and some more motion. Another cool thing you can do is also pinch and slide right into the hair again, just like I did at the back. I'm going to repeat this with another vertical section right at the top of the ear. I'm going to take this on a 45 low, over direct it right to the lip. I'm going to use this as my guide here, and I'm going to slide into the hair once again. Give it a little bit more face frame and a little bit more fringe. Then we can go ahead and just pinch and kind of slide into the hair, get a little bit more movement and some more texture to play with. And then this is our shag. They can kind of part the bangs either side. I definitely had this haircut in high school. I'm going to go ahead and get her blow dried with our blowout gelée from our style line. Give it some height, and I'm going to also use our, what am I going to use? I'm going to use our soft mousse, and I'm going to work it in at the roots so we can get some nice volume, and then I'll come back and do some of the dry styling for you all. Okay, so now that I have our guest or the mannequin nice and dry, I'm going to start in and section right from the top of the ears on a horizontal section and clip all of this up. I'm going to be going in with Instant Glow Up from Keune style line and work that through the hair before I flat iron it. Comb that through, let that dry for a second. And what I'm going to do with the hair is I'm going to pick it up in horizontal sections and elevate it 90 degrees out from the head. And I'm doing this because I'm going to do a little bit of a textured wave into the hair. So I'm going to start and bend and twist. So now we have a nice bend that we're working through the hair. I'm going to straighten those ends out. Just so you get a little bit of texture, a little bit of rock star hair. This is a very fun, very rock and roll haircut. Definitely reminds me of my scene days. Just a lot better than my scene hair. So picking it up right at 90 degrees, we're going to bend it and flip. And then pull those ends straight. So now I got a really subtle wave to give it some texture. And I'm going to repeat this up to the parietal ridge. So unclip the rest of this. Comb that out. Little pro tip on how to find the parietal. Start right at the ear, put the comb flat, and then where it lifts off the head, which is right here, that's where your parietal ridge is. So we're gonna section right there. And clip this up and out of the way. And once again, going in with the instant blowout, apply that through the hair, comb her through, and then once again, we're going to take horizontal sections, 90 degrees straight out from the head, and we're going to just wave it again. And flip, and flip. So we got some really fun texture throughout the head. And it doesn't have to be uniform either, because this haircut really isn't super uniform. It's designed to be fun, textured, messy, and styling with some little waves like this is really just going to enhance the texture that we already cut into the hair. And then pull those ends straight. So we got a nice little waves and some texture throughout the hair. I'm gonna unclip the rest of it. Let the hair go to its natural fall. So I'm not super liking how much volume there is right in the front. So what I'm going to do is hit it once again with your instant blowout. Get it come through. I'm loving all the volume that the soft mousse gave the hair right at the crown up here. So what we're gonna do in the front is we're just gonna flat iron the ends so we can preserve some of the volume there without it being too rounded right in the face. And I'm just going to pull it straight down. And then once we get to the sections right around the face here, I'm going to pull them forward. And then if we want any more bending here, we can go ahead and add that texture back. But when I'm directing this forward, it's the way that I cut, so it's really going to accentuate those little pieces that we made. And then same thing on the other side, just from the zone 2 down to zone 3 on the hair. And I'm going to overdirect this, just like we did, and pull this all towards the nose. And if we need some more bending right here, which I think we do, we can pull that out. So now we've got this a little bit smoother right around the face. It's really accentuating that seam look. Again, we can flip it up, give it some more texture to play with. And then for our finishing, I'm going to go in with our precision powder. I'm going to lift the hair up at the base. And really pump this into the crown. Another pro tip, if you want long-lasting volume and you don't have a mousse or another wet product, put this in on damp hair and then blow dry it in, because once the powder and the water, it's going to expand and give the hair long-lasting volume also. This is also a great texturizer, so you can just pump it over the top of the hair too. And it's going to give it some grit, because we are going to do a little bit of back combing at the crown of the hair. I have all of the precision powder pumped throughout the hair. I'm going to take my George on the Ready teasing comb. I'm going to pick up the sections I want to add volume to, pull it up on the 90, hold your comb on a 45-degree angle, and we're going to start about halfway at the section of the hair, and we're going to pump, and then pack that right into the hair. And then your volume is going to be long lasting all day long. Then once again, start at halfway down, keeping your comb on a 45, pump, pump, and then pack. And now that we're right at the parietal ridge, I am going to pull the hair out on a 90-degree that way, halfway on the shaft, pump, pump, and then pack that little bit that we have left. Flip. And once again, and we're going to stop right when we get to the parietal ridge here, and then pack. And I can smooth this out with my comb as I work around the head. Now I'm going right up to the crown here. Pump, pump, pack that last little bit. And holding your comb on the 45-degree angle is a surefire way to make sure your tease is going to last all day long, or the back combing. Pump, pump, pack that down. Pump, 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 pack that down. That we got the shag all styled out, I'm gonna go in with the soft set hairspray. And now you can really go in with your hands, because now we have that precision powder in first, and really work that through the base. Give her some volume, some texture. Last little section of the detailing, we're going to go in with the 1922 matte and measure. Take a little bit up, just so it's on the tips of your fingers here. Work that through. Now I only want this on my fingertips here, so I'm going to just work it in. Your middle finger, your pointer finger, and your thumb. Let it get warm and tacky. And then you can just kind of pinch it and pull and piece out the hair a little bit more. This is a great tip for updos too. And then these little pieces right in the fringe, bang area, whatever you want to call it, I'm just going to pull and texturize this out. And this is our seam shag, as I like to call it. Just a much more elevated version of what I had back in the day. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Have a great rest of your day. Just because I know people are going to ask, I'm going to go ahead and give you the color formula for what I used on my mannequin. This color up through here is going to be Keune Tinta 4.76 RI with 30 volume on the mannequin. All of the halo underneath here was bleached out twice with cream blonde and 30 volume once again, just to give it a lift, because we all know mannequin hair is not going to lift the same way as human hair is, even though this is human hair, but you understand. In all of these colors, all of our fashion colors down here, this is going to be our color chameleon, our pure red, orange, yellow, green, violet, and violet. So I just did straight up orangey viv, and it's all melted very nicely into each other. Any questions about this placement? There is a live video on Keune Professionals North America on our Facebook page. I did this class with my wonderful friend Amber Wishart. If you have any questions, please reach out to me on Instagram at Victoria Kelly Hairstyling. And once again, thank you so much and have a great rest of your day.